All right. Okay, let's sit down and start this now. Okay. All right. Okay. Kevin O'Neill at the Philly Cam Studios introducing episode 8 of Universal Poet. What are we going to have for the episode? This is for December. You don't want to miss November. And we're kind of nixed off for the first episode of November because of election. You know, election and the fascist election in America. Anyway, what are we going to get in December? This is episode 8. It started in March. April, National Poetry Month. We kicked this off. This is my archive. This is archival gold, right? Kevin O'Neill's Universal Poet, World's Best Poet, Helicon on Wheels. We all know what Mount Helicon is. So what we're going to have is a special. You know, this is, like I said, this is archival gold at the historic Painted Bride Arts Center, 1999. Now, you know, the erstwhile Painted Bride Arts Center with the founder, Jerry Givnish, avatar of the alternative, and the Painted Bride itself, the citadel of the Seven Muses. Okay? So we are going to have first Ursula Rucker is going to kick it off. No, I'm sorry. Kevin O'Neill is going to get an intro. It's a recent piece. It's short for me, a minute. It's going to be Genocide by Zion. You know, that's self-evident. And then we're going to, that's quick for me, a minute. My stuff's usually, 20 minutes. Ursula Rucker on stage with her son, Sudan, who is then 8 years old. So he's like 32, 33 now. This is 99. So Ursula kicking a great piece with her son, Sudan. Then you're going to have Rasta's sister, Camille Edwards, who I featured all through my 9 years as the poetry curator at the Painted Bride Arts Center, constantly featuring. And I took her up to the prison for Black History Month 3 years consecutive in the Februarys, Camille, because her stuff is great and it's special, and she's a Rasta sister, Jamaican sister. So you don't want to miss that. And then we have Trapita Mason, Pew Fellow, Trapita Mason, Pew Fellow, and Philly Poet Laureate. But 99 people were just starting out, right? That was the vision of it all, right? That was the vision. That was artist keystone, artist as catalyst. And what were the catalysts for? Check it out. Trapita Mason. Then you got a killer piece by K.O. Buckle up for that one. That's off the hook. And then you have the twin poets, right? I think they come right after me, the twin poets. And there's a little dialogue between the twins and I about how it all started at Painted Bride. It wasn't always kosher because of the racial divides of Philadelphia, being the Quaker city that it is, being the keystone. It's an artist keystone. Artist is catalyst. Philly's hasn't been the keystone, or the Pennsylvania. Anyway, you want to check that out. Twin poets, killer piece. And then to top it off, to round it all out, is Demitrius Scales, who was in my pioneering group at Greater for Maximum Security Penitentiary, Kevin O'Neill's inmate poetry project at Greater. He was in my group for 3 years, right? And he got out, and where does he come? He comes to see K.O. He comes to my home. He calls me. We're going to have an event Friday night, the first Friday of the Painted Bride. You're invited to come and bring a piece. And if you don't come, I'm going to come get you. Okay, I'll be there, Kev. And so this is a community. It's a universal poet. It's not a snappy phrase. This is the universality of this project, right? Demitrius, he was in prison in Greater for 7 years, if I recall right. He comes out and he comes to the Painted Bride, and we welcome him with open arms because he's one of the community. He's one of us. We don't allow politicians, the clergy, the establishment divide people who are locked up from the overall community. We don't do that. Why would we? Artists don't do that. I don't know what someone else might do, but inmates are a part of the community, and we're certainly part of the Painted Bride, and certainly part of my project of the Bride, Day of the Poet. So the inmate poetry project, it comes full circle. So Demitrius is there doing a great piece, and it's his family. I spent 3 years with that guy up in Graterford, and creative writing, and he was honed in his skills. And now he's out, he's producing some stuff. He's got a studio, and And that's just how we do. So that's what we have for December. December, that's the last month in the year, and who knows if it's going to be fascism, if it's going to be, Germany 1932, or it's going to be USA 2000 at the end of 2024. So is anything else? So, and catch the opening is you want to catch that genocide by Zion. Okay, Kevin O'Neill, keeping it real. Now, me and Private Ryan are flying out from Neely Plaza, heading down to Gaza, where the babies, they're all crying. Their daddies, they're all dying. And their mommies, they're not lying when they say genocide by Zion. They're not lying as they're dying, testifying, signifying. The international community, can the Palestinian people get a witness? Can we get a witness? Can we get a witness to patricide, matricide, infanticide, familicide, mass familicide, wholesale USA-backed genocide by Zion?
Having a broken heart, which I'm sure a lot of us can relate to. Fortunately or unfortunately, however you look at it, usually beefs you up so you can deal with the next thing that's coming. So, it's usually a good thing for me later on, but not while it's happening. This is called this. If my heart were made of bone, it would shatter. If my heart were made of bone, it would shatter. Were it made of stone, it would crumble, crumble, crumble. Were it made of stone, it would crumble. A steel heart would even buckle under the weight of this hurting, this intangible, this hurting, this pain with no visible wound to speak of, this hurting, this clenching, ungiving, undiagnosable tightness in my chest that leaves me breathless, this bloody, pumping, pulsing, gross and beautiful, amazing, aorta thing with valves and ventricles and chambers, beating, beating with life, but I'm not living. This ain't living, no, this ain't living. And ain't no doctor can remedy this ill, there ain't no pill, and God seems to have left me hanging. And my attempts at prayer seem to fail, 'cause ain't no heart in them. And the company of misery, well, that ain't no company at all when. And the company of misery, well, that ain't no company at all when this type of hurt comes down on you, like an unrelenting rain with such a cold, wet driving, it blinds you, immobilizes you. Couldn't duck it even if you tried, it's all around you, all over you, coming down on you like, coming down on you like, coming down on you like, And when you think you done outrun it, this hurt catch you, stop you, dead almost, right in the middle of a laugh, a smile, right in the middle of a laugh, a smile. It's ugly, this, makes you sink, like, remember the wicked witch melted, but really she sank down into that trapdoor in the floor on The Wizard of Oz? Lower than that. Worse than just melting. Lower than a trapdoor in the floor, 'cause that shit was fake. This shit is real. Realer than an original gangster. Realer than the back black entrance to the Cotton Club. Realer than birthing big head baby boys out of that there with no drugs. Realer than fucking. Realer than fucking. Realer than fucking. 'Cause you can shake an OG's hand and You can turn the knob on the back black door and you can hear that coochie pop and hold that little wonder, put him to your tit and wince with that first suckle. And you can taste the salt of sweat, dig nails and skin when it gets good. Rebel yell with no thought to open window in summer when it's mo better. And that's real. All that's real. But to me, ain't nothing realer than a pain and a weight, so heavy and strong. You feel it like a bullet, like an Acme anvil, but you can't even hold it. You can't even see it. You can't even hear it. But it got a phantom grip on your heart. But it got a phantom grip on your heart. Now that's real. Don't tell me that's not real, 'cause you don't even know me, and you don't know my pain. And I thought that I told you, your company ain't no misery to me. I thought that I told you, your misery ain't no company to me. This is mine, this hurting, this hurting, this blues, my blues. And I'm gonna ride it out, ride it right on out, but until then, all I know is, if my heart were made of bone, it would shatter. Sudan, why don't you come up here with me? This is my oldest son, Sudan, he's 8. This is Sudan, it's Jason. Why don't you put that up a little bit? You want to do part of this with me? You want to do the hip hop thing with me? Okay. Does this work? Is this on? Okay, thank you. Now, he's gonna do this little thing with me, and I hope that I can get through it because I'm like dead tired. Because 3 a.m. was my bedtime last night, which is usually 9 o'clock. So I'm like all messed up because I got up at 7 a.m. and that's not good. So I'm using Sudan tonight. It's my backup. So you ready? You ready? Okay. You want to start it off? Hip hop is not a
music category.
Speak up, speak up.
Music is not
No, hip hop.
Hip hop is not a music category. It's a culture. It's a culture.
You want something done right, you gotta do it yourself. You want something done right, you gotta do it yourself. You want something done right, you gotta do it yourself. You want something done right, you gotta do it yourself. You gotta do it yourself. Don't underestimate me cause I do poetry. My rhyme is sweet but deadly. Turn your platinum and ice to mint novelty cause all you do is skeet on the mic with tripe, slang, talking yang yang. While I speak your lang with lyric, aromatic. Ain't gotta spit no gun click shit cause life is hardcore enough. Don't need to wax gangster to be tough. Being black in America is rough.
Plus, cuz.
What you think, sis? You the only bitch ever went down on a nigga? You invented sexing or something? Well, why you always talk about it then? What your pen ran out of ink? What your mind has ceased to think? Let mass media determine your worth.
Still the right
God gave you since birth, first woman on earth. A Burberry shirt don't make you no queen, and last time I checked, being a whore wasn't synonymous with warrior, so take that fake identity back to the store. Get a refund, or better yet, get some respect. Peel mass media's fingers off from around your neck. Give him a swift ass kick, and
Go on about your way and have a nice day.
Okay. Watch. I'ma bust this. Roll this shit real tight like a spliff tip. Bounce to this, yo. Check this shit. Pay attention, my niggas. While my flow I can figure. It's set in stone so you can't change it. Rearrange it. These hip-hop commandments transcendent. They rise above ordinariness. Yo, this dome be blessed with liquid knowledge, soul porridge. Yo, beware the high wattage. Step back, yo, I got this. Tongues of flame hover over me as I speak in lost languages, spit like fire. Retire your rhyme attempt, son. You can't fuck with the divine done. My words are written on scrolls of the Dead Sea. Retreat before my lyrical army make you a mockery. Heed the prophecy, turn bold to me. This truth I speak. Heed the prophecy. Don't underestimate me cause I do poetry. My rhyme is sweet but deadly. Turn your platinum and ice to mid-novelty cause all you do is ski on the mic. With tripe
slang, talking yang. Well, I speak ylang with a lyric.
Aromatic, ain't gotta spit no gun click shit cause peace.
My main thing is singing, so everything that I write is in a book. Although I've been writing since 9, I don't memorize any of my poetry, and I'm not ashamed. But before I start reading my poetry, I'm going to do just a little bit of a Rasta chant that I like to do. By the way, a shameless plug, I'll be at the Jamaican Jerk Hut next Friday, singing for your musical pleasure, 13th and the 28th. There is a land far, far away where there's no night, there's only day. Look into the book of life and you will see that there's a land far, far away. There is a land far, far away. Thank you. I'll have a drummer with me and a guitar player. I just wanted to bless the space with that sound. I'm going to read a couple of pieces. I was here for about 3 years of Word Wide, and we did have quite a few people come through, and there were some doozies. But we made it through. So I've watched Kevin, like Rich said, we were in the cafe for a long time, and I remember when we couldn't fill that up, and then it got too big for the cafe, so we moved in here. And this piece doesn't have a title. Hanging from the noose of need, wanting to press contentment into brittle bones, to pacify the raging soul. Dream the noose falling away from a rusted throat begging release. Imagine the impossible, lie down in peace and dream. Clear the dark clouds, high hosannas, walk on water and dream. The storm is passing, a stay of execution. Hold the last breath closely as long as life and dream. This piece doesn't have a title either, but I'm sure you'll get it. Where have they gone? Where are they? Our strong soldiers, king men, have deserted us, sisters, mothers, and lovers. En masse, they defected to the enemy camp. Now they are hunting our souls to crumble the part of them that is us and grind the tender parts to dust. In forgetting and neglecting, erase the lash-biting, cleaving the flesh of their flesh and bone from them, denying their arms and protection, outlawing black woman love to heal the wounds, to bind up the broken-hearted slaves. They ripped, broke, tore, divided from him repeatedly, raped, sold, hung in front of him, indelibly marked on his mind always that to love a black woman is suicide. And he learned well to teach the lesson that she is nothing to die for, to live for, to treasure. And she learned bitterness. So we stand at the end strangers, hostile witnesses to shared abuses, beat down, enslaved, and trained to be enemies. Our joining is the ground we destroy daily with contempt and sell our sacrosanct for the corruptible and lose balance. Where are they? Of the millions, only few have not exchanged their deity for the base. Few do not glory in their animal nature. Return to us. We have been holding up the world while you were gone. I'm going to do one more, and this is one I did here worldwide long time ago, 99. And it's another one of my lamentations. Trying to buy my freedom, trying to break these chains, working the global plantation, come new world order. Nowhere to run to, numbers follow me, trace me. I'll gather me to the edge of the sea and fly home or swim. Lost in specialized, highly developed slavery, home no longer exists. Would that I could rip my flesh to cauterize the wounds of this whip all day long, my heart shredded to ribbons, buried in salt. In my mind, the festering wounds eke pus. I can taste in my throat, I swallow and punch in. Survival is my overseer. I watch my mother bear under the brunt of the cruel heel of the massa. I can do nothing when he rapes her, makes her over into the image of a burdened beast. Would that I could rip my heart out. Would that I were brainwashed to believe the illusion of democracy, to fight for my American dream. I would be satisfied to work to earn a living, space to live in, the pain of living a slave. Looking for a way out of this endless hell which escapes defining or escape. We maul each other, animal instinct. Step over the broken bodies of my kin to arrive at the end of the plantation where I now go insane. Thank you. Thank you, Kevin.
Miss Camille, was everybody?
I am a chunky child again, nagging him. It is the morning after he burst and scattered in me, after I rocked and shook like an implosion gone awry, after I yelped unintelligible sounds, after he asked for a translation, after I laid there silent, scared to tell him that I love you was spreading, had lodged in my throat like cancer, and uttering it would drive him from me. It is the morning after, and I turn for him, his back, a strawberry speckled landscape, a wall, a barricade greets me. I'm needing to know, can he fool the gods? Can he reverse fortune? Can woman, brown, ample, be enough for him? I'm seeking time, years to watch offsprings grow, they planning our 50th anniversary, me soaking his underthings in bleach, him devouring my poems like a famished orphan. I am needing to know, will I be enough? I am a chunky child again. He will slap my hand, lecture me warily, mash my cheeks against his. His no will be a bell, a death toll, a siren, shutting me down. We have been here before. I will offer him parts of me, is down payment, like layaway, like when we were children, severely lacking, and daddy would give the saleswoman $10 a week toward our Easter dress, and for months and months we would wait for the booklet to fill so we can take them home. See, it has always been this way for me. I have always had to wait and wait to receive. So I give him parts of me, breast, tongue, legs, as payment for permanence, and I'm believing that one day he will claim me. He will come to claim me. Thank you. And these
Now to see the business get to see what the twins and I are going to do. All right, the camera people all ready? This fake ass CD shit going down? Okay. DJ Ray's Ramon, how we doing, man? We're going to drop science. Can I get a witness? Can I get a witness? Can I get a witness protection program or a... I don't want to do that one. I always do this one. Can I get a witness? Can I get a witness? Can I get a material witness or a fitness program for the 13th Amendment? Or a faith healer for the 8th or a hearse for the 1st? Can I get the 5th or 3/5 of a 40 for the 4th? Or a homeless equity loan for the 14th? Or a Waco makeover for May 13th? Uh-oh, you better get Mako. Or a litmus test for how the West was really won. Or a gun control quarterly for the fraternal order of eternal slaughter. Can I get a witness? Can I get a do-rag gag order for the lie that shagged me? Or an election year liar prevention week for that pickup truck dragging, toe tagging, body bagging dog that wagged me, flagged me, oh, say have you seen the red, black, and green? Keep 'em blunted, keep 'em lean, crack, skag, zigzag, blitzcrank machine. All my prison industrial persecution complexes live in Texas, where genocide is gentrified and called potassium chloride. Round 'em up, rawhide, shoot 'em up, apartheid. Patent applied, judge sentenced, then tried. Board certified, mission petition denied, to wit. Children of the cornbread life, big death certificate. Chitlin Circuit, city writ of hate. The crime bill, grist mill, black boot hill, abyss of the real Schindler's List. Cease and desist. I'ma do who let the Klan out. Clandestine, Charlton Heston, LaPierre Police State Fair nightmare on Jesse Helm Street, where the house that Jack built wasn't even built by Jack. Put trigger locks on nigger mortis, where the race of the tortoise is not won by the son of a skinhead with hair who really wants to be a cotillionaire, or a Rasta welfarian in the snare of the Aryan, burning cross holocaust from Austin to Boston to Philadelphia, city of brotherly love to kill a brother, execution style mania. They kill with the pen. In Pennsylvania, they kill with the pen in Pennsylvania. Can I get a Roe v. Wade nigger aid concert for the charge of the white brigade, or a nappy per capita speed trap for the real Antiques Road Show, the Get Darky Oligarchy theme park freeway, where the routine traffic stops rhyme with the war on drugs, tough on crime, crusade charade of the broken tail lights motorcade. We hold these truths to be squat, for the foot on the pedal is really the pot, calling the we hold these truths to be squat, for the foot on the pedal is really the pot, calling the metal, calling the kettle metal. At the end of the Rainbow Coalition petition the Lord with prayer for gold don't melt in America. All that trickles down is doo-doo on the Y2 triple K disinformation highway from hell. Hath no fury like an all-white jury. Hell hath no wrath like the path of math's most traveled equation. Probable cause is probably because you're not Caucasian. Probably because of the law's minus 20% clause from the jaws to the belly of the usual suspects correctional index vortex vacuum machine touched by a dirt devil. Get your boot kicks on Route 666. Matrix of the real Special Vicks unit. The Eugene to New Orleans colonial hate crime scene where the real perps are George Bush, where the real perps are George Bush, Wyatt Earp Europeans. Gabardine, New Nile, profiling turnstilers on the interstate to upstate, the chained and bound overground railroaded abode of the beach slave ship Motherlode, fatherland of the son of brother man. Red, black, brown, beige, and tan, the captor has a master plan. Can I get an underclass class action fraction of the real missing in action? Or an auction block actuary to please pass the passenger list from the middle passage? Or an Old Testament Passover passes like, yo, remember me? Fuck Chuck D and William F. Buckley. In 2003 AD, I will part the white, blue, and red sea part 3 and free all the Mumias. Free all the Mias missing in America. Brother, can you spare a dime as an overtime in a stolen land where bondage is still stock? And the auction block is now the noxious redneck foxhole called the ballot box. Bedrock to the shock of the new, same old, chattel docs, vox, robocop, pop, sleeping sheep flocks, political peacocks, dementia precox, white collar, hooded frock, toxic schlock epoch of mock pops Wabiscum and apocalypse now. Now 41 Glock pops and 2 million cell blocks locked around the clock by proxy. A stolen land that hands a man a penny with his own picture on it and then asks for change. The smell of burning melanin is still bellowing from liberty's torch, yellowing like the postmark on that heat-seeking epistle called We the People. Still delivered third class by postmen who always ring twice. Thank you very much. Okay, how we doing, Razor? All right. I had a couple thoughts backstage, but I drank so many glasses of wine, I don't have a freaking clue what the hell I was thinking about. It's getting late, but I'm always glad to come out and drop a piece when the audience is half asleep and half of them have left, and someone stole my dinner. But, you know, all the good people came out here and had a good time, and that's what the event is about. True, Al? That's what it's always been about. It's been about you people. So I want to thank everyone again for coming out and listening to these important messages and even a little bit of madness for myself. And for the people who are really going to hang out, you're going to hear a man who has been incarcerated for some 37 years in an upstate maximum security prison. And there's only one man in this country who can go into a prison, spend 3 years there doing workshops, etc., and make a video documentary with the prison's own equipment, and they didn't even know what I was doing. And came down here with all the shit and put it on PBS so all the men in the prison could hear the messages. So if you want to hear those messages, hang around a while, and Brother Wukong will bring you up to date on what's going on in America's prison industrial complex. Okay, so now I got that. I didn't even miss any lines, so that's a new. And when I said I didn't believe that, had no dinner, had no goddamn love or sex in the last 6 months, and I can't believe that shit, man. But that fake-ass war with Saddam Hussein, this country's in trouble. When all this began, when I thought about, spoken word artists need a real venue. They can't be going to freaking bar rooms and cafes on Monday nights, and that bullshit's got to come to an end. But two people stood out in my mind why this was important to happen, and those two people I'm very proud today to say are my colleagues, collaborators, and my dear friends. So when I always think about what I'm going to do next, or I think about what's up with the spoken word stuff, I always think about these two individuals, because that is really part of the fruit of all this labor in my mind. So, like I said from the beginning, it's really all horticulture. It's primordial. It's nothing high, It's very primordial. It's a freaking garden. That's all it is. So, if the seed is good, something good will grow, no matter how barren the soil is. You know there's someone from the Painted Bride didn't come out here tonight and thank Kevin O'Neill for being here and representing her. Every goddamn year from the beginning. Clap the Painted for Chris with me. Black History Month. Always got my back. Always got my back. Twin poets. Twin poets. I'm the third twin. You never know that shit. Alright, do one and we'll switch them up. Do one and then I'll do one of these, okay?
Now we go, Jack Cousteau and Boom Back. Yo, everybody been on some old stuff, man. Richard Dina came up in here, Collins, Trapita Mason, Ursula Rucker. All we was listening was Jill Scott.
Yeah. No, I didn't forget that. Give me fun. You know, when I can't remember all this shit, but you know, if you think this was just a few poets, the first slam team that I took to New York, you know, I mean, I took Richard Medina his first trip to New York. I took him held by the hand, introduced him to all that. I don't want to embarrass him when he's here, but you know, he was like, Kevin, what should I wear? I said, oh man, get your goddamn ass out of bed and let's go. But the first slam team I took there was Miss Jill Scott. And she took the bus. What did she do? She took a train or what? She showed up on the bus. I said, all right, Jill, we're doing a slam. We're going to kick New York's ass tonight. So get up there on the mic. So Jill gets on the mic and starts swinging Billie Holiday songs. I'm saying, damn, Jill's a freaking poetry slam. What are you doing singing? But it was all beautiful. So Jill was up there. She took the train there. I mean, she was trying to get her message out and working hard at it. And we were all coming together back in those days. True twins. So Jill now is all, you know, I mean, I can't even get her to return phone. I don't even know her phone number. So, yeah, Jill Scott was all part of this whole interview back in the day. All right. Do your thing, twins.
All right. Where we at? No doubt, man. The old stuff, man. I want to do something I say of my existence, man. Some old stuff, man. Some old stuff. Oh, when I was in heaven yesterday, I done been to heaven like 4 times already. But when I was in heaven yesterday, when I was in heaven yesterday, those fuckers act like they didn't want to let me in. So I fucked up my hair and came back and pretended I was my twin. That was my brother who had did that, Lord. That wasn't me and shit. But when I was in heaven yesterday, there was a mad Poet MC Cypher going on. Brothers was freestyling to Miles blowing his horn. Then out of nowhere came Jam Master J and DJ Scott LaRock, and he was doing the beatbox to Big and Pac when I was in heaven yesterday. When I was in heaven yesterday, I got pissed because God wouldn't put Guinness Stout on the damn drinking list. And white folks is cooking, so I can only get a piece of baked fish.
Only baked fish here, we don't fry.
Y'all don't fry no fish up here. When I was in heaven yesterday, but then Moses hit me off with a fifth of unholy water and took me to the strip club so I could see the preacher's daughter. But truthfully, that just shit did nothing for me but bore me, because there was no flesh and her naked spirit did nothing for me. When I was in heaven yesterday, I was surprised to see that God really was a white man with blonde hair and blue eyes. What the fuck? A big fat nasty cracker who used words like golly, williker, and gnarly and rode around heaven on his Harley when I was in heaven yesterday. When I was in heaven yesterday, I was surprised to see brothers up here pouring out beer for niggas that wasn't here. When I was in heaven yesterday, I was glad to have brought my camera with me. I took a picture posing on the pearly white gates. Then I emailed it to my people in hell and said, I know y'all wish y'all was here with me when I was in heaven yesterday. When I was in heaven yesterday, I said, praise the Lord. When I saw a Just Say No to Kirk Franklin billboard. The Reverend James Cleveland would speak. He said we can't allow the devil to take gospel music like he did R&B and rap. He said, fuck that. We gotta get it back. When I was in heaven yesterday, God took me to a playground. I got to see all the kids who've been murdered or aborted. I saw my little brother on the court doing the crossover, and he said, you see that little girl right there with the pink bows in the hair? That was going to be your daughter that you aborted when I was in heaven yesterday. You see, when I was in heaven yesterday, I had been to heaven like 4 times already, but when I was in heaven yesterday, when I was in heaven Yesterday when I was in heaven, I looked God dead in the eye and couldn't deny the resemblance. Since I was made in his image, me, him, and my twin look like triplets. No, I'm see that's how since God created it. Yeah, yesterday when I was in heaven, I made Wilma Rudolph and Flojo smile as I got my ass walked down by Jesse Owens in a quarter mile. But I was happy as hell to get second place as I stood on the podium like Tommy Smith and John Carlos in '68.
What?
Yesterday when I was in heaven, Yesterday when I was in heaven, I was invited to a poetry venue at a spot called the Burning Bush. Claude McKay and Zora Neale were hosting a poetry slam, and the winner got to get his or her writings put in the next Bible. Yesterday when I was in heaven, I had lunch with Lorraine Hansberry. And as we drank champagne and ate raisins in the sun, we were approached by Marcus Garvey, Booker T. Washington, and W.B. And all three of them asked me if I had any chapbooks and if I brought them Twin Poets CD with me. And I hit them with my classic Rich Medina reply, hey, hell yeah, you know, something to put it in. Yesterday when I was in heaven, Yesterday when I was in heaven, God granted me a wish. He said to close your eyes and whatever you wish for, when you open them, it shall appear. So I closed my eyes and I wished to see what my life would have been like if Africans had never been brought to America. And when I opened my eyes, there I was as a young man growing up in Nigeria, speaking Igbo, living in the state of Igbo in a small village called Owerri, and I had no worries, for it was my grandfather who, with the use of his poetry, helped prevent the war in Biafra. Yesterday when I was in heaven, I sat at the feet of my ancestors, and as we discussed the state of the black nation, I watched them begin to cry libation. Yesterday when I was in heaven, I faced Mount Kilimanjaro and had a dialogue in Kiswahili with Jomo Kenyatta. Yesterday when I was in heaven, I split cola nuts with Anamdi Aziki, where I had palm wine with Patrice Lumumba, I had Gari Fufu, Mama was Tuniata from Mali, and I told him how his life story would never be forgotten because Disney made it into a movie called The Lion King. I told Shaka Zulu that the unity he was striving to bring is now being forged by both the Nkade and the ANC. Yesterday when I was in heaven, my face flooded with tears and I yelled out to God, what the fuck is Idi Amin doing here? Yesterday when I was in heaven,
See, I done been to heaven like
4 times already. And yesterday I was in heaven. Understanding what heaven is. See, heaven is here on earth for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Yesterday I was in heaven.
The goal of my lyrics is to touch your soul spirits. I mean, lyrically, I be trying to touch you spiritually. At times, the rhymes in my mind get so deep that my words get overheard by Lucifer and his peeps. But still, I continue to speak. For my words carry the spirits of my grandmoms, hallelujahs and amens. God must know I'm willing to jump off the highest building to save these damn children. There are times when both myself and my God thinks it's odd that writing rhymes is only my part-time job. But we content with shit the way it is. And gonna keep my full-time gig saving a lot of these kids. Because each day I bring harmony and unity in my community. And perform little miracles daily like getting Mad to squash his beef with Buddha and them. And getting Shanika to go to step practice only after she finishes her tutoring. You see, these poets here be mending broken homes and have young boy going home writing, Mommy, I appreciate all you do for me poems.
What? Yeah.
Because God must know I'm willing to do what must be done to keep the hurt from these children. Because it's with sadness that I learned to live with my grief as black youth continue to die in these streets. And I know somewhere that a mother's dream disappears with those gunshots I hear. It's those gunshots I hear that still echo in my soul that tell me somewhere a black life is being stolen. So how can we stop the bloodshed? How can we save the children? Damn it, God must know I'm willing to jump off heaven's highest building to save these children. For I finally found out what God has put me here for. I'm able to see the children's tears that others ignore. I'm able to feel a mother's pain to make a lie to her only child and say, nah, baby, mommy ain't got it. Mama's broke. Because she's tired of seeing her dreams disappear in the dope her daughter smokes. And the shit never ends. For I've seen black teens who never seen their father have children and then become their father. And their children share with me their energy, their looks and smiles. And through my concern, I turn them into my poetic files. Because God must know I'm willing to jump off heaven's highest building to save these damn children. And the way I worded it be the way I heard it from God, with such conviction and feeling. Damn it, God must know I'm willing to jump off heaven's highest building to save these damn children.
We're going to bring back up Mr. K.O. Kevin O'Neill. We're going to bring back up K.O. The founder, creator, apostle, good deacon, reverend,
Well,
the band leader, the orchestra conductor, the baddest motherfucker.
the warm Guinness stout drinking.
Oh, and can't nobody.
Ken Jackson wine sipping.
Yo, for real, this
Poet.
Twin Poets would not be who we are right now if it wasn't for the love and support of Kevin O'Neill. That's
I remember
the honest
Twins was
thing.
young. We was young at this poetry thing, and we came in here. There was an audience full of white people. So don't call them white people.
No, but we wasn't Asian. We was over there.
They were Caucasians. It was a whole bunch of Caucasians.
And we had this song.
My brother had this poem where he
Called
said,
I
want to put the Pope on a rope.
But it was about changing history, moving everything around. It started out saying, I wanna go to the oldest white man alive and call him a boy. I wanna feed him chitlins and watermelon rinds until he throws up.
Yes.
Yes. But it was flipping history. Everything that happened to black people, all these white people got up and just walked out.
We got some lines in our poems that might be a bit offensive, you know. And Kevin said, look, I don't give a fuck.
Do not compromise the word. Kevin says, say what you want to say.
We got up here and said all shit.
Kevin said if they get up and they
And
leave,
those white people was getting up and leaving like,
they got up and left. Kevin said, fuck them. But without that love and that support, you know what I mean? That message.
But I just want for the record, my brothers are racist. I love white people. It's my brother makes me say that shit.
You know what? I wasn't gonna tell you, my brother still pees in the bed. I wasn't gonna tell you, but you know, K.O. Kevin O'Neill right here. Actually, the twins were a little bit anxious about that piece. See, in the early days, I want people to understand this because it's very important. When the concept for this venue was young, I knew there was, because it's Philadelphia, it's a Quaker city. So people don't come easily to the mix. Everything is divisive. So I knew with the vision to come with a real community event, there was going to be problems. So the twins came with this piece, which was confrontational, as it should have been. So you had people now, you had some skinhead types or whatever out here with their lame ass shit or whatever, sitting there, and the twins were a little anxious about this piece and said, and I said, fuck it. You don't compromise one syllable of your message. It's an important message you get out there and say it. And let the work divide the people from who's really part of the community and who's not. So in the middle of the piece, like 12 people got up in the middle of the twins' piece and like noisily walked out. As in, that doesn't happen anymore because we built something where that can't exist now. But then in the early days, that was part of the frontier we were dealing with. So we worked all those weeds out of the garden, as we should have. So, and we're still working weeds out, believe it or not. But that's all part of the process. So, true twin, so we're not even worried about it. So the people who want to walk are the people we want to walk. So some people get it, some people don't. Anyway, but something else I want for you people, you true believers who are hanging out now. Demitrius, get up, get your bald ass up here. I want to introduce you to someone who's really a friend of mine from, I met this individual, and I have his permission to say this, in Grateford prison. So up in the 3 years that I spent there in that project, that was a very, it was a difficult but very important undertaking to go up in Grateford to find out what's going on in America's prison industrial complex. And then I come to understand that the prison community is no different than this community.
the men there helped me understand that. And I've been in prison. I grew up in prison. So it was something that was like going back and helping me understand that. But I can't understand that it's only an illusion that those people up there are not those people, they're really us. It's the politician and all this process who locks people away on these suburban plantations and says they're separate for us because there's something wrong with them. So part of this whole project was to break that wall down and make this whole community one again. And the only people who are going to do that are the artists among us. The clergy, the politicians, they're not going to do it. They're going to continue it. So artists have to step up and find ways to break those walls down. Art can do that. So I met people like Demitrius up in Grateford, and he was making fantastic works of art. And then as a testimony to this project, when he got out, I mean, I don't know, you know more, he's just like a little something I got a grant to do. I don't, you know, it's not, I don't know, you know that. But he came here and he doesn't, his money's no good here. He can come here anytime and do his piece, because that's what the project represents, real people. You know, labels on people, you know, felon and all that shit. This is a corrupt state. This is stolen land. You know, private property is stolen land. You know, they don't believe in any of that shit. So, you know, this project has brought forth real people like Demitrius, who's been able to come here and be part of all this. And we're proud to have them. And we're larger for having people out of prison, because they're teaching us what's going on in this miserable society. We're not teaching them. I was up there letting them teach me. So he comes here now and then when his girlfriend lets him or whatever. And but you know, and it's really all it's love and friendship and respect. It's like we went up there to do. True, Demitrius? He said, I don't want to do nothing, but he's going to get up here on the mic and do something because he's one of us. And so that's the way it is. Fuck George Bush! All right, Demitrius, please, a big round of applause for Mr. Demitrius.
Actually, I didn't write anything. I haven't been writing anything. I just came down to see Kev. I had nothing else to do, actually. But I was working on a song. I got a studio and I was recording some stuff, and this song, it's called Do You See What's Going On in Your Life? And the chorus is like, do you see what's going on? Not this fast, but do you see what's going on in this life? Pain and fear, do you really care? And, you know, we come in with, I want unconditional freedom, or unconditional whatever, love, whatever. And the lyrics go like, starts out, it's amazing how my mind reacts to this track. I spit shit, get rich, freedom for blacks, unconditional, don't be wishing no negative. As long as I live, this is my pledge to give. The rib that I gave made Adam Eve slave. Now he's locked in, fuck up or stocking. Common shit without no options. I beat up the beat, put it up for adoption. I'll mixtape it, rape it, grind it up, scrape it, scratch the surface, these lyrics all purpose. Missy, yup, I can work it. I free your mind, body, you earth it. Coming at me scrap, you know it ain't worth it. Divine being, think of the shit I'm not saying. The ayat, slash, signs you're not seeing. Would you do it if I was European? On the forest fire, Joetta ain't raised no fool. Nor a liar had desires to kill some cops, cause they slayed my pops, know how to make the pain stop. I scoop skins, I'm the keeper of my brethren. I talk with dead men, I'm psychic, crazy. I say shit that even amaze me. Learning from my babies, fuck the fathers maybe. Genetically incredible, these words are edible, but chill, let it settle through. Dreams of a 5x8 cell, no West Craven. Ease on down, the yellow brick road I'll be paving. Homeland security, invasion. Say grace is amazing. Like Zaire Rahim, I'm dazing my opponents. He'll be the knockout king, I'll be the knockout king. We're doing our thing in a moment. Oh, they say I'm one blunt short from taking a trip to Greatest Fort. These fucked up courts, I no longer support. I declare my sovereignty. So beat it, you blind ass bitch called justice don't bother me. God father me, or more, not a nigga or a pickaninny. Like Mark Rich, I bought this whole bitch for a copper penny. I hunt a beast that was born on Jekyll Island. Federal Reserve Board, 1910, and no tax filing. I love to see the Moorish baby smiling. For the love, I'll bust slugs. I hung with mugs who sold drugs became rich black thugs who now sit in cells, got histories to tell, to the death I'll never, dying breath I'll never, never told, never tell, create gold, ship plat, booty, I'ma get back, move big stacks to the lawyers and lobbyists, single mothers, black Hebrews, Christians, Muslims, and the Hebrew brothers. I could animate from the center with hate, blow off a cracker's face like Napoleon did the Sphinx, or use the gray matter to think. I don't look pretty in blues, browns, or pink rooms that bring a nigga to his doom like Singletary. Fuck your psychology and your other 4 P's. Imagine me letting you do me. It won't happen. I'm the best who ever did it, and I'm not just talking about this rapping. Tactical HK 45s clapping. I'm with that world summit, but if that shit don't work, nuke the whole world and see what come from. Peace.